Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FTRL. It is Supercars week on GT Sport, and we are here this week tackling Mount Panorama in Australia. Everybody in the Group 3 Mustang, so expect some close battles across the mountain tonight as we get into week 8 of the championship. And Aaron, who's on a first flying, having a big moment coming out of turn 1. So we'll go on board then with the first driver on track to take your lap of this world-renowned facility here, also known as Bathurst. Then to run up to turn 2. Let's start climbing the mountain then. Apex is nicely on the right hander there, using all the track. Bring it then to the first of the elbows. Lift through here, moves back over to the right, try and stay within the white line, and tip in for the left hander, still climbing up the hill. This has been get a little bit of twitch there as he tries to get on the acceleration. Grazes off the wall, so a bit of a scruffy lap so far for Owen. As he now then Pete reaches the very top of the mountain through Skyline. Now we start to drop down the hill through the dipper for the first time. Tight twisty bends walls, ever close and ever present. Still continues to drop now all the way down to the elbow. In nicely, a bit of drifting away there, the car not quite underneath him at this stage, and then on to the Conrod straight. Now the speed starts to build up. This will be the fastest point of the track as they enter the braking zone for the chase. 6th gear, 173 miles an hour there, just before he slams on the brakes, down the gearbox to 2nd gear. Fixes nicely. Short run down then under the Armour Bridge. And Aaron is going to peel off into the pits, in fact, so he's not going to set a lot of time here. We'll go back on board with Pagani, who's behind him. He'll take us round the final corner. No, he too is going to the pits, so yeah, everybody who's starting on the medium tyres. Peeling off into the pits. See Posh peeled off at the end of lap 1, so the other two have gone for a extra burner lap. His first lap time, then that was an out lap, so that won't be representative. So no representative lap times as of yet. SBY just set one. He had a 2:02.6, and so it's not a bad lap from SBY, but I'm sure 2:01's being the order of the day yesterday. So still possibly some time in that. SBY's come out behind his teammate, so that'll give him a nice little slipstream up towards turn 2. SBY probably one of the favourites for pole position. So he was a quarter of a second up then in the first sector this time around on his second flying lap. It's quite a long lap here, so not many flying laps in. A lot of the drivers then who've gone for that extra fuel burn lap might be looking at just one flying lap to get it hooked up. So let's see, yes, well, it just grazes the wall using all the track. Possibly candidate coming up to the next split point. Let's see how he does on this one. He is almost a second up then, so SBY here on course for a very competitive lap time if he can hook up the final part of the lap. Twisty stuff nicely. Looking very tidy so far. Nicely into the elbow. Onto the Conrod straight. Car again just gives a bit of a shake of its head as he gets on the low pedal of the Mustang. It's the big American muscle car. Fixture of the V8 Supercar series, at which this event is based. As you see that checkpoint still 9/10 of a second up here. SBY on for a very quick lap. Just a couple of corners left to go now. Gets the chase hooked up. Now the run down to the final corner. He's currently on a 2:02.6. This is on course to be a 2:01.7. If he find any time in the final corner. The grass there, that's just going to cost him a little bit. City Posh being all ahead of him just takes provisional pole, but SBY steals it back with a 2:01.8. We just lost a 10th there at that final corner, running a little bit wide onto the grass. Not going to help on his traction, but still elevates him back to pole position by half a second from City Posh. Unsafe release in 3rd, Fever in 4th. Right, Spike, he was in 5th, he's been demoted to 6th as up to 4th. He's got Nobby Norris. And then currently 7th, Aaron of course yet to set a representative lap time. We only have the one chance though. He's getting a slipstream off SBY, so it's not a bad man to be getting a tow from. Pagani then also now just starting his flying lap. Flag as well. So let's look at some of the liveries we've got on show tonight. We've got SBY there in his team colours of purple with the American flag at the back there, looking very resplendent. City Posh in his traditional light blue and white livery. Number 27, again quite simple again this week, but looking nice and unsafe for Elise, who's based his car off one of the current supercars this series. Currently in P3. Middy's electrical car. Nobby Norris in the classic team Deadpool colours. Fever running a Tide livery there, of course a tip to NASCAR from the early 90s. Rai Live in the... he's missed the dipper completely into the wall, so that's messed up Rai's lap. And then in the green, oh, hold my bit. Slight play on Cam Waters' livery. Aaron has lost the slipstream to SBY here, so this is not a bad lap. He goes second. Safe improves his lap time, but not enough to overhaul City Posh. He remains third. Who's left to come around? Pagani is probably going to be one to watch, and blue flag. With Lennon's out the final quarter, he's having a huge twitch. He goes 5th, but quickly demoted by Fever behind him. Looking back now to Pagani. Oh, where is that? Nobby Norris coming across the line. Nobby Norris currently in P7. He improves, but not enough to jump any further up. Here comes Pagani into the final corner. What can he do? Goes fastest by 36 thousandths of a second. Blue flag behind him, jumps up to P7. So this week is definitely a little bit of Pagani. He does love the supercars, he likes his Mustang, former championship winning car, and he has taken pole position for the race straight off the bottom. And so here we go, we've got 35 laps ahead of us. Two compounds of tyres to be used, so the soft and the medium must be used throughout the race. So fuel to factor in as well. So last night we were looking at a 3-stop strategy, seems to be the way to go. Of course with the increased pit stop times now it's difficult to make a different strategy, but the 2-stopper probably not going to work just for the wear on the tyres on the softs, probably not going to win, and away we go. And it's a good start for Pagani, he's got the jump on SBY. Into turn 1, but it goes a little hot, and SBY is trying to switch back immediately, and he's up the inside. And now it's side by side, so now a drag race up to turn 2. SBY's got the lead though, so he snatches the lead. Pagani tucks into the slipstream, Aaron tucks in behind him as well. Up in 4th is SBY, City Posh with Lennon up to 5th. He's had a good start, jump both Unsafe and Fever off the line. Unsafe down 2, that's Rai Live is wide. Into 2, clips the wall, drops all the way to the back. Nobby Norris gets in front of him. That blue flag's down 1 to 8th as well, so he's out of the best start. And now start to climb up over the mountain for the first tour. SBY starting to open up a little bit of a lead. Again, anyone who was very, very comfortable in this car on this track, this combo. Up very nicely. Starting then to drop down the dipper for the first time. So let's have a look at the strategies people have gone for. So SBY is on the soft tyre, Pagani on the medium, which might explain why SBY managed to jet the jump on that first lap. Aaron started on the mediums, City Posh also on the mediums. Lennon's on the mediums as well, as is Fever. So is Unsafe. Blue flag is on the soft tyre. And you've got Rai Live on the mediums and Nobby Norris on the mediums as well. And so just a couple of the drivers on the softs for the first stint. And look at SBY making it work though. He's pulled out a second lead already. So he's flying in this first stint. He needs to make hay while his tyres have the advantage. 1.2 seconds, so he is absolutely flying. Pagani giving chase. Aaron looking possibly for a move into the final corner, but thinks better of it. Drops back in again. Got City Posh right on their tail. Pagani wide, they're kicking up the dirt as he gets onto the grass. And then leading the second pack with Fever, Unsafe and Blue Flag. So you've got a 4-car train for 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Green cars at the front, green car at the back. 2 German boys in the middle. And then the battle we all came to see, Novi Norris versus Rai Rai Live. And Rai's had another moment somewhere and has dropped off the back. So Novi Norris has gained the advantage in this little squabble. Lap 2 then, and SBY continues to lead. It's pack 3. Oh, that's Feeble up the inside of Lennon, coming through turn 2. Lennon, however, gets the move blocked off for now. Behind the Blue Flag attacking Unsafe as all. Lennon's wide at turn 3, into the wall. Through goes Fever. Unsafe trying to capitalise as well, he can't do it. So a mistake from Lennon. It's very easy, the track is very dirty on the outside. Oh, both of them clip the wall. Unsafe's now down the inside. Across the mountain, that's a brave place to make a move. Into the wall goes Lennon. Sparks fly. Blue Flag trying to muscle through as well. Oh, Fever's in the wall in the background as well, so Fever's made a mistake. It's all kicking off in this little pack. And Unsafe now gets to the head of the queue. It's very narrow. And the wall's so close there, and I think I did that last night where you could just run up to the edge of the circuit, because that's where you have to keep the speed up. But if you get it at the wrong point, the track is dirty. You lose all the grip and you slam into the wall, and I think Fever was a victim of that in all that little exchange there, having been at the head of the queue, having got ahead of Lennon. Now he finds himself off the back. SBY is in the lead now, 2.5 seconds already, so SBY is checking out in this first stint. Of course, he is on the soft tyre, so he will have a grip advantage. Only playing the longer lane. Blue Flag has got past Lennon on the run down to the chase. He's now up to 6th, and he has a look down the inside of Unsafe into the final corner, because he's also on the soft tyre in this first stint, so he really needs to get some clear track so he could do with clearing ahead of Unsafe release if possible. Onto lap 3 we go. Well, Lennon having a twitch, kicks at the dirt. That's this Blue Flag. These Mustangs are very planted cars, can be quite twitchy. And Pagani glued together. 8-legged Mustang. City Posh very much in this battle as well, but we've got 2 little scraps going on here. We've got these 3 here who are all on the same strategy, all of them on the medium tyres, all on very similar fuel, and then your race leader SBY on the soft tyre. He is bolted. Of course, it will come back to the guys behind him later in the race when he has to run the mediums, and they will be on the softs. So see how aggressive SBY is being there, running all the way up to the wall. Sparks are flying, he just grazes off the wall, but it is working. He has the fastest lap at 2:01.7 already. He took quite a way into the race yesterday before we got into the 2:01s, but SBY has done it in the first couple of laps, so SBY not hanging around this week. He's looking for a very good haul of points. As I say, the strategies will come into play a little later on. Pagani's now opened up a little bit of a lead over Aaron. He's got that gap over a second, so he's no longer getting slipstream. And now City Posh behind him is on the attack. Meanwhile, Blue Flag right on the back of Unsafe release as they come down the Comrade straight. He pulls over to the right hand side with the slipstream. He gets the move done, so Blue Flag up to 5th. Lennon just off the back of these 2. Unsafe's going to try and fight back. I feel with that tyre advantage that Blue Flag should now start to try and ease away. Blue Flag then 2:03.6, and that's his personal best of the race so far. What can he now do with some clear track? Either trying to get back on terms with those 3, or at least Unsafe and Lennon, who are on the same strategy as tyre-wise. Novi Norris in P9, and right in P10 after he must have the drama on the opening lap. The drama on this lap as well, 3 seconds slower on that lap there, so a little bit of time lost. Blue flag, having got the move done and unsafe, is not getting away at this stage. However, as they come up to the twisty section, this is now, oh, blue flag gets a big kick of oversteer as he tries to get the power down. And that's going to put unsafe right back on his rear wing. The big American V8 under that bonnet. Kicking out hard there. Scrapes the wall as well. It's just shedding time and speed. Keeping unsafe very much in the hunt, and if he can stay there, then he fancies his chances going down the Conrod straight this time. But this is a section here where you feel that blue flag will have the advantage. You can see now that gap starting to open up. With these tight twisty corners, Lennon just starting to close back onto the rear of unsafe. He's keeping in touch with blue flag. He's still in slipstream range. So he will get a toe down the straight that will pull him away from Lennon. I think that the gap is probably enough that blue flag should be safe from attack into the braking zone. Back a bit further up, the lead at the front is now 4.5 seconds, so SBY averaging about a second a lap quicker at this stage of the race, which is incredible pace considering he's on a full tank of fuel. And on the soft tyres, so on SBY setting a blistering pace at 2:02.3. Pagani with a 2:03.3, so another second lost that lap. SBY is being absolutely flawless so far. He's now 5 seconds. Pagani then still 1.4 ahead of Aaron, who's still got City Posh for company. Further back, blue flag has not shaken off the advances of unsafe. So then drag up the hill. Towards turn 2. Back there getting a little bit twitchy, keeps it all in check this time around. Just slid the back last time around. A bit less aggressive on the gas this time around. On board, unfortunately. Oh, went unsafe into the wall behind him. Unsafe this time, they're just carrying a little bit too much speed. The car just washed out. Again, so these three are now just starting to spread out a little bit. City Posh now just dropping back a little bit from Aaron. But he's just out of slipstream range now. Aaron's still out of slipstream range of Pagani as well. SBY continues to smash out fantastically quick lap times. He's down to the 2:03s now. 2:03 flat. Pagani behind him does a 2:04.2, so that's another 1.2 seconds on that lap. SBY is still absolutely flying. Pagani getting the back, drifting as he tries to get on the power now, trying to close that gap. It's probably round about now. You can see the tyre wear on SBY's car is significantly worse on those soft tyres, starting on the full tank of fuel. But SBY fastest again through sector 1. Pagani does a personal best, but on that, not an absolute best. Blue flag in P5, not pulling away from unsafe still. But his tyres are in significantly better shape than SBY's, considering they're both on the soft tyres. You see there the tyre wear, probably almost the same as the car behind. Unsafe's tyre wear is probably about the same, and he's on a harder compacted tyre, so Sai doing an excellent job with his tyre wear. Nice smooth driving style. Keep the tyres, and saw that work out brilliantly last night for Jono. One of the contributing factors to him taking the victory, that and a massive bottle-o, as on the side of cars by Mr. T. Smith, who threw it into a wall when 7 seconds clear. Now Now the gap between first and second has about stabilised on this lap, so I think we could be seeing a point where the tyres on SBY's car, you can see, look at the tyre wear on that front right tyre. SBY has been pushing really hard. So this lap they're going to be around about the same, I think. It was about 6.2, 6.3 when they started the lap. SBY's lap time is 2:03.6. Pagani getting a wiggle on out the final corner. He does a 2:03.9, so 3/10 to SBY in that lap, but that's the smallest margin he's pulled out over a lap, so SBY probably looking at a pit stop in the next couple of laps. City Porsche has now closed on the back of Aaron. He's battled for third. Still a long way to go though, on lap 7 of 35. At 1/5 race distance. Blue flag has now started to gap unsafe release and sets personal best, in fact an absolute best in the first sector. Also it's literally just turn 1 and the run up the hill. But you can see how much better tyre condition he has compared to SBY, however he is 13 seconds in arrear. Again they're just lighting the rears up a little bit as he gets on the power. Safe doing a very good job in P6. Lennon still keeping in touch. Earlier drama. Feber has just slipped away in P8. Nobby Norris in a very lonely P9 at the moment. It was a little bit wide there into the wall. Just gets away with that one though. Rai, who seems to have settled down after a couple of dramas on the first couple of laps. Now getting his lap times down and running a little bit more consistently. Race leader coming down at the Conrad straight then for the 7th time. SBY, that lead is now 7.3 seconds, so he again is opening that gap up. He's not taking a whole second out of Pagani anymore. You see he's 1.5 seconds down on his best now. We're looking at the 2:03.2. Still a very, very quick lap. City Posh has picked himself up a half-second penalty somewhere, so he's had a drama because he was right on the back of Aaron. SBY in, so your race leader making his first stop at the end of lap 7. Pagani's also picked up only a second's worth of penalty. Been pushing hard. Oh, again lights up the rears. Now of course, like he said, he's had clear track for a number of laps, but now he's got nobody in front of him. Where will SBY filter out is the next question. Still putting fuel in. Feber coming around the final corner now. He may be in this gap here between Lennon and Feber, depending on when he's released. Away he goes. Where is Feber? He might be close on pit exit. SBY's just going to get out in front of him there, so he's got a nice gap. SBY there, so he's got clear track in front of him up to Lennon. 7 seconds. Now Lennon's lap times is doing 2:04s, 2:05s. SBY's come back out on the medium tyre, so I would imagine that that gap should be enough to the point where Lennon will pit. So I don't think SBY is going to be held up. So we shall see. So SBY then looking very good at this stage of the race. Of course, still quite a long way to go. A lot of pit stops to be made. And this is Pagani's time now. He now at the head of the queue. He was a second slower on the previous lap there, so compared to lap 6, so you see the 2:03.9 and a 2:04.9. And the back straight we go through the follow through. In the chat we've got Lennon who's racing, we've got Mikey, evening Mikey. Of course Mikey's gutted to not be racing tonight. Had a nice livery lined up and everything. Done you work. Oh, Pagani again kicks up the dirt out that final corner. He's pushing hard. Lap times are just dropping away to 5.3 that lap. Casey Bernard in the chat, evening Casey, evening Brett, evening Mattman. Evening Mr. Smith as well. And so the top three have kind of spread out a little bit. Aaron's actually closing back in on Pagani now. The gap down to 1.2. His tyres look a little bit more worn than the two ahead of him. So he might be in third. The blue flag then is starting to close in. So blue flag tyres are probably, in fact, blue flag's tyres are in better shape than City Posh ahead of him. So that is just testament to blue flag's supremely smooth style. It's not sliding the car. And it's keeping those soft tyres in very, very good shape. He's taken them already 8 laps. We're on lap 9. So he has gone as far as a number of the medium shod runners. Unsafe and Lennon are closing up. Now Lennon is just getting into slipstream range now. He will start to feel the benefit of that. Unsafe a little bit scruffy there over the mountain again. And that's just going to give him a couple of tenths. You can see now that gap has halved in a couple of corners. So Lennon now right in slipstream range of Unsafe Release. He's clipped the wall. He's wide, gathers it back up again, kicks up the dirt. Can Lennon find a way through? Not quite. And all the while behind them, SBY taking chunks of time. Now he's got his tyres up to temperature. We'll see what kind of lap times he can be doing on the mediums. Faber in P8. He's just dropping away from that battle between Lennon and Unsafe that he was a part of earlier on. In a very lonely P9 and right live, so in a very lonely P10. Coming around to complete lap 9. .205.9 for Pagani, 205.9 for Aaron, those two. So for space 205.2 for City Posh. He took 7 tenths out of Aaron on that lap. He tries to close back in, then into the pits come blue flag, Unsafe Release and Lennon at the end of lap 9. So they pit in and that releases SBY into clean air again. So it is all falling into his lap at the moment. Just 12 seconds off the lead. He did a 203.1 that lap, so he took 2 seconds to nearly 3 seconds out of Pagani on that lap. So the benefit to being on fresher tyres earlier is really coming to SBY now, and he is taking chunks of time out of the cars ahead of him. Faber now back up to P5 as the 3 cars ahead of him pit. And interestingly, Unsafe and Lennon have both jumped. Blue flag, no, sorry, tell a light, it's Nobby Norris has managed to get in between them there. So Nobby Norris, who hasn't pitted, Unsafe is now out on the soft tyre. Because he's only got 3/4 of a tank of fuel in there, so that means less weight to carry around. Burn up those tyres. The blue flag will be keen to find a way past though. Nobby Norris is probably due a pit stop shortly. Look at the blue flag then, he's stuck behind him over this part of the course. It's very difficult to find a way through. Looking for a mistake, or he's going to have to wait for the back straight. Nobby Norris into the wall, sparks are flying, blue flag looks down the inside. Nobby Norris gives him a little bit of room, but drops back in ahead. Blue flag not able to make the move. Norris is wide again. Blue flag going for the move again. No, has he got it done? He has. An aggressive pass, but fairly clean. A little bit of contact, but that's fair enough. He's got the move done. He's cleared in then to Lennon in the background there. He has put a bit more fuel in. That's probably why he's lost a little bit of time. In come your top 3. Look at City Posh's fuel situation there. Got 3 or 4 more litres in the tank at the end of the stint. Will that be enough to get him ahead of either Aaron or Pagani? This stint, Faber are going to come around and do another lap then. So is Faber potentially trying to get to the magic 12 lap mark? Which means he can do this race on just 2 stops. Nobody tried it last night. In the background, City Posh has jumped Pagani and Aaron, so yeah, those 3 extra litres he had in the tank have jumped him into what will be a net P2. Pagani, however, is on the attack straight away. All 3 of these guys now on the soft tyre. City Posh on the inside, Pagani trying to go around the long way, he's in the dirt, he's out in the wall. And Aaron sneaks through as well, so 2 positions lost then for Pagani. Tried to attack early. Oh, now City Posh is wide. Now Aaron's looking up the inside. Contact, I think, there. City Posh drifted a little bit wide. Aaron stuck his nose up the inside, and they just came together on the apex. And the position is retained. And now the battle is now on between these 3. Behind them, unsafe release. Also now on the soft tyre, he's got that gap down to 3 seconds. And of course, he pitted a little bit early. He pitted a lap earlier, so he's out on the grass there though. He's pushing though. Of course, his tyres are now up to temperature. So what can he do now? Can he get on terms with these 3 who are still battling? On the back of Aaron, who's on the back of City Posh there, quickly closing in on Feber as well. Feber is probably going to have to pit on this lap. He's on the red line in terms of fuel. And all this has left SBY with a absolutely humongous lead. So barring any massive dramas, this is probably the man to beat. He is looking very, very nailed on at this stage into chicane they come. City Posh, Aaron right on his back. Is Feber going to peel off? He is. So Feber into the pits. He hasn't quite made it to that magic 12 lap mark. Will he try and do it in the next 2 stints? We shall see. So City Posh takes over in P2. Aaron P3 as he was before. Pagani down to P4. And unsafe release has now got that gap down to 2.1 seconds. So he is flying. He stayed blue flag now on the medium tyres. He's now not got the advantage he had over the guys around him. They're now going to start eking away. And then has got a bit of time to make up because he put more fuel in. Not more than blue flag, but he put a lot more in than unsafe. So unsafe has opened up quite a handy lead over Lennon. Change for P2. So Aaron has got the move done on City Posh, but looks like on the way up to turn 2. Aaron now trying to give chase to SBY, but the team Aaron cars at 1 and 2. 17.6 seconds between them. That is a huge lead for SBY. And bearing in mind he's on the medium tyres, the guys behind him on the softs now. Aaron has just done... what's that purple? If you can see that, just flinging it down the mountain then. Yeah, Bolt saying the 2-stopper is possible, and I think if anybody is trying it, it's going to be Feber by the look of it. We shall see. And now is 8 tenths up on his best lap, so he is flying at this stage of the race. Gap though still 17 seconds. By a big chunk of curb there. See, attacks the chicane. City Posh has closed back in again. Pagani still just off the back, but very much in touch. He's managed to stabilise that gap to unsafe release. Charge has just been halted. These 3 get together and start battling again. We may see a little change in that. It's Aaron with a 2:02.1, SBY's 2:04.9. So SBY had a bit of a scruffy end to that lap there. You can see he was doing 2:02s before that. So he had a moment somewhere towards the end of that lap. Aaron starting to claw that deficit back. Turn 2 right-hander. City Posh using all the track over the curb. Slightly on the medium tyre, is holding that gap to Lennon. 2:03.7s on the last lap, so yeah, blue flag has got that gap held. Feber has gone back onto the medium tyre. Although big drift there through that left-hand elbow. You don't want to be doing that if you want to get those tyres to 12 laps. We shall see then if he's maybe going to do some slightly shorter stints to get into the end. Further back then, Rai has started to close in on Nobby Norris. Nobby Norris has gone back onto the medium tyres while Rai has gone to the soft, so he's had a bit of a drama. They're coming through the elbow. Just opens up a little bit again. So different tyres on these two cars now. It's right down to 2:03.3 on that lap. That's Aaron. Oh, now change for P3. So City Posh has had a drama somewhere. Has fallen off the back of Aaron and has lost a position to Pagani. So City Posh has lost his podium place, having jumped both these guys in the pits. He's now back down to P4, and Unsafe has closed in again in that battle for P5. So can he get involved? You can see the guys he's chasing. They are getting a little bit closer to him. City Posh does a fastest first sector. Oh, he's clipped the grass. Oh, big moment for City Posh there. Saves it. That's exactly what Tom did last night. However, Tom, after catching it, then had a second moment and hit the wall, and that cost him the race lead and eventually the win. City Posh gathered that one up. But that's cost him a couple of tenths, and Unsafe has pulled in about 3 or 4 tenths from that. City Posh also just using up his tyres, which he does not want to be doing on those softs. You need to make them last. See how violent this track is, and there's the cars. Some dirt being kicked up over in the foreground. Pagani. We are now at 2/5 race distance. On. Again, they're getting the car shaking at the final corner right in the curb. Sets a personal best, fastest lap 2:02.3 on that one. He's closing in on Aaron. In turn, is just chipping away at the lead of his teammate. Took another 8 tenths of a second out of him that lap, but it's not enough. SPY being very, very consistent at 2:03.7 on that lap, still very quick on those mediums. He's not losing a lot of time with the different tyres. Posh has gathered himself up again. He's now setting about to try and home back in. He's also managed to just start to increase that gap back to Unsafe, of course, who pitted a lap earlier than the guys ahead of him, or a lap or two earlier. So his tyres are now starting to go beyond their best. Blue flag in a fairly lonely P6 at the moment. He's still keeping that gap even to Lennon. Lennon back on the mediums again, so Lennon's going double mediums. Is he then going to go double soft to the end? A little bit wide there, just glances off the wall. But again on the medium tyre as well. He's had a very lonely race since that mistake in the first stint that just dropped him off the battle with Unsafe, Blue Flag and Lennon. He's not been able to recover that time. He's on seemingly different strategies. Is he trying to do the two-stopper? We shall see. He may yet change his mind to go on to 3. Oh, he's wide there again, just grazes off the wall. Sparks are flying. Norris still holding the gap to Rai, who's very sideways. So he gets on the power. Oh, yellow flag. Oh, Nobby Norris is round. So Nobby Norris has had a spin. And that's going to let Rai close right up now. That gap that was 7 seconds is now 3.5, so he's lost half of his lead. And The battle between these two is now very much on. Lennon seems to have shipped a lot of time to blue flag on that, so he's had a drama somewhere as well. Let's open that lead up. The gap between Unsafe and City Posh is holding. Garni and Aaron holding as well. And Aaron continues to just chip away at the lead of SBY. He is not taking enough time out of him. SBY is due a pit stop probably on this lap. He's now flashing red, so expect your race leader in. Tyres will the race leader go on to? Braking zone he comes. Lights up the rear tyres. Just getting off them on this lap. It probably doesn't matter too much. He peels off and into the pits to make his second stop. So now the question is, at what point do Aaron, Pagani, City Posh respond? Aaron, they're kicking up the dirt in the final corner. We've seen Pagani do it a couple of times. 203.8 on the lap from Aaron, 204 flat from Pagani, a 203.8 from City Posh. So these three, which are now the front three, all lapping very close to one another, those gaps holding firm. Unsafe also doing a 204, a 204.6 on that lap, and SBY coming up behind him in P5. Once again he's got some clear track. Blue flag is not able to be a feature. SBY's got 5 seconds to unsafe release. He's now also on the red line of fuel, so unsafe release will probably be in this lap, which will clear the road for SBY. Look at how worn unsafe tyres are. You can see him struggling there through the elbow, struggling to get the car turned in. Front right tyre takes a big beating around here. Got anti-clockwise circuit. SBY meanwhile is back out on the soft tyre. Now I'm intrigued by the amount of fuel he's put in. How far he thinks he can get on that fuel. Now, a full tank at full tilt with a little bit of short shift can get you about 11 laps. Now, is that 8 laps to get into lap 25? We shall see. We shall see. That seems to be the strategy though. If you can get to lap 25, do 10 laps to the end on the mediums, which they can easily do. That should see him to the flag. So what the race leaders, in comes City Posh from P3. Meanwhile, Aaron and Pagani have carried on. So maybe that was a factor in why City Posh was able to jump Aaron and Pagani. Is he going to see the benefit then of fresh tyres? So honestly, these two are quite worn soft tyres now. Again, clears the way for SBY. He's not featuring any traffic to potentially hold him up. Blue flag now up to 4th, Lennon now up to 5th. City Posh is on his way with a full tank of fuel, so he is filled up for a long stint. He'll probably go to about lap 28, 29 and do a short sprint on the end on the soft tyres where we can really hammer it. Unsafe has done something similar. He's slightly, not quite filled the tank. He's out in the mediums as well, and he is 4 seconds back from City Posh. That's about where he was before they pitted. In P8. He's still going around, so he does look like he's trying to do the two-stopper, which means that he is on for one more pit stop. However, the gap he has got ahead is quite substantial, so I don't know if it's going to work. We shall see where he ends up. Can he leapfrog any of the guys ahead of him? We shall see. Nobby Norris settle down again. Oh, Rai has just pitted, so having closed right in the back of Nobby Norris, he has pitted and gone for some fresh set of soft tyres again. So he's going to be flying again now. Nobby Norris still on those medium tyres. He's going to be pushing hard. Let's see if he can close that gap. Can he leapfrog Nobby Norris before Nobby Norris pits again? Probably got another couple of laps before he pits. Aaron and Pagani are in. So SBY will take over at the top and sets a fastest lap on his way. 2:01.5, the fastest lap of the race so far. So SBY lay down a marker exactly when he needs it. Blue flag is going to come round and take P2. There he goes. Does City Posh factor in? The guys in the pits, here come Aaron and Pagani, who are literally inside each other as they come out of the pit lane. Pagani's got the jump. As they come out of the pits, it's now a drag race up the hill between Pagani and Aaron. Aaron on the racing line. Pagani's got the inside. Aaron's just going to drop in behind him. He's also got quite a big penalty there, so I don't know if he's maybe picked that up on the entrance to pit lane. So Pagani getting back ahead of Aaron then. Running P2 early on, got jumped by both Aaron and City Posh in the last stint. He has now made both of those places back. Now runs in a net P2 with his teammate ahead of him, yet to make his second stop. City Posh is 4 seconds back now, so he's really just dropped away there. That mistake he made gifted Aaron P2, and they made another mistake and gifted Aaron Pagani P3. Now he's just not been able to recover that time, so now he's a little bit adrift. Sleeping P6 Lennon has just pitted. He's out on the soft tyre. He's picked up quite a hefty penalty, 2.4 seconds. Step left to make. Fever, you can see him there. Fever's definitely trying to do this two-stopper. I just don't know if he can be quick enough to make it work, because I just don't think you're going to have the tyre life to make the speed. You're going to be losing too much time. You can see him doing 2:06s, 2:07s. He's just losing 2, 3, 4 seconds a lap. I just feel that it's too much to make it work. Into the pits comes blue flag from P2. Will promote Pagani and Aaron back to second and third. City Posh will go through to fourth. And Safe will go back through up to P5. Now where does blue flag filter out in regards to Lennon? Where is Lennon's coming around the first corner now? So blue flag has maintained that P6. That's 2.8 seconds to make up. Both on the soft tyres. Lennon will have to get the hammer down. He's got a big horse and tyre advantage at the moment because his tyres are up to temperature. Blue flags will be getting his up there. Just be careful for a few corners, get some heat into those tyres. Aaron is sticking to the back of Pagani. Both come back out on the soft tyre as well, so it looks like they're going to go to the mediums at the end, so everybody in the top So he took 3 on the soft tyre, and Sissy Posh has gone for the alternate strategy. He's now on the mediums, which means that he will finish on the soft tyre. Pagani and Aaron are on less fuel, so they're probably going to go earlier, go onto the mediums. Well, the race lead is now 22 seconds. SPY is absolutely flown away. He's done another fastest lap of 2:01.3, so he's pushing hard. 2:02.4 on that lap. Pagani's first flying lap is a 2:01.9. It's a personal fastest from him. So he took half a second back from SPY on that lap, but it is not going to be enough. He's going to need a lot more than that if he wants to win this race. There we go then, on lap 21 of 35 then, so we are at 3/5 race distance. 14 laps to go. Bosch just continuing now to drop away from this pack. That gap now 7 seconds in front of him. So he will make some of that back in the final stint. Will it be enough? Have to wait and see. Yes, however, kept that gap to unsafe at about 4.5 seconds. So he's not been able to make any headway. Still in P6, Lennon has just closed in slightly. Blue flag on his out lap. Now on his first flying run, Lennon closing a little bit on that lap. You can see the Bottolo car in front of him. Can he get close enough? Make a pass. You can see they're just running right up against the wall. They're going to be up on the curb. I'll just clip the wall there. Down the dipper again. Down straight we go then. There's blue flag in the foreground. Can we do anything about that gap? Blue flag going very well. Neat and tidy. This guy getting a shake on, so blue flag does a 2:02.4. And then does a 2:03 flat, so 6/10 back to blue flag on the lap. Continues on his way in a very lonely P8. I just don't think the 2-stop strategy is quick enough to work. 2:13 on that lap, so he's had a drama somewhere on that lap. Has got about 3 and 4 seconds over right behind him. And just pitted for some fresh medium tyres. He's triple stinted the mediums, and interestingly, he'll do 3 10-lap stints and then a 5 at the end perhaps. Maybe go on to the softs a little bit earlier. Just coming up behind them then is the race leader. So this will be the first traffic that SPY has encountered all race. However, he will be assisted by blue flags. Lead then 21 seconds, 2:02.4 on the last lap, 2:02.9 on this lap. What is Pagani doing behind him? He did a 2:02.3, so he gained a 10th on the last lap on SPY. SPY doing a very, very good job at the head of this race. 2:02.9 for your race leader, and he does a 2:02.4, so half a second. Again, not enough. Aaron very much in touch, sticking with him. Bosch just continued to just drop away on those medium tyres. He's now on a different strategy to the guys ahead of him. Has however managed to just eke away from unsafe release. backing out. So 2:03.9 for City Porsche, 2:04.8 for unsafe on that lap, so about 9/10 of a second added to that lead. Making him a little bit safer. Now blue flag is getting caught by Lennon. 2:04.2 on that lap. On blue flag, Lennon with 2:03.3. So 9/10 of a second out of that lead. If that car gets ever closer, that'll just give some extra impotence to Lennon. Push a little harder, looks like a little bit wide there through turn 2. Well, Lennon's penalty seems to be it's about the same, it's still 2.3. It is not lost for Lennon yet. The final corner then, in comes your race leader. Now, interesting, he's got 12 laps to do. Now, surely he has to go into the medium tyres here. Surely he has to fuel it for the end. And that is a big ask for SBY. Now, he's got a big lead, so he can afford to... That was a short fuel stop. I think he's stopping again. I think SBY is going for a 4-stop. He's back out on the soft tyre, he is. So SBY is trying a different strategy. He's trying the 4-stopper, that's why he's been flying, he has been pushing hard. Because he is doing an extra stop. He's now 5 seconds off the race lead. But he's on much fresher tyres. These guys have both got about... Well, Pagani's got about a third of a tank, Aaron's got a little bit more. SBY's just over half a tank. He's doing a 6 laps, maybe 6-7 lap stint, so he's probably going to about lap 30. These guys, I imagine, are going to go about lap 28. We shall see. Background Feber has pitted. He's managed to get to the magic 12 lap mark. In theory, he may be going to the end, but I don't think the soft tyres will be in very good condition and those last couple of laps, so I don't think that strategy is going to work for Feber, unfortunately. Dared to be different. I think the best he can hope for, barring a drama ahead of him, is a P8. Closed right in the back of Pagani then, so this is for the race lead. I don't imagine he's going to work him too hard. Especially still at 1.9 seconds of penalty. Oh, Pagani has a wiggle, Aaron has a slide, so both of them having their own dramas at the final corner. Definitely still pushing. Pagani with a 2:03.9, Aaron with a 2:03.5, so he took 0.4 of a second out. He's now got the slipstream back as well. In the background there is SBY, who is charging onto the back of these two. Now, they've all got 1 stop left to do, so this is now 4th position. The race is very much on. But you wonder how much Aaron and Pagani are going to have to defend with. Against a car shot on fresh tyres. You can see the benefits. There's your top 3 all in shot. Porsche has just continued to fall away in 4th on that alternate strategy. He's still got a third of a tank of fuel in, so you can imagine it's going to go a little bit longer. He's continued to pull away from unsafe release. Blue flag has managed to avoid the advances of Lennon, who I think his tyres have now gone past their best. He just eased away again in P6. Right, in they go. Cooper then on the soft tyre, so he is trying the two-stopper. He has a healthy enough lead that you think if he does decide to switch off that two-stop strategy, he can still come out in front of Nobby Norris. Right, we shall see. So Pagani has managed to drop Aaron on this lap. SBY continues to home in. So then what does Pagani do? Is it his lap to peel off? It is... no, it is not. He carries on. Aaron carries on. SBY of course carries on as well, but this gap now just 2.2 seconds. Cover your top three. Let's go on a lap then into turn one. Okay, Hell Corner to the mountain straight. You can't tell I've got the corner names in front of me. Now they're all coming up to lap Rai Live. How close SBY is to Aaron. Now he's in the slipstream. Mountain straight they come. Approaching now. This is Griffin Bend. Turn two. A short blast up the hill. SBY now looking for a way past Aaron behind them. They come into the cutting. SBY there, you think he's just going to have to follow him through here. Oh, Aaron gets on the power, slides the back of the car into Quarry Corner. This is Reed Park. Into the Frog Hollow. And Bullman Park. This is McPhilmy Park. And Skyline, the S's, into the dipper, lifts the wheel, down into Forest Elbow, and you imagine now it's just a matter of time before SBY gets this move done on the Conrod Straight. In fact, he's already got it done coming out of the elbow. Up to P2 he goes. Drops back into the slipstream, but you imagine on the brakes SBY will have far too much grip. Aaron will risk attacking his teammate. I think that he will. Into the chase. They come now, and SBY now starts to home in on Pagani. They come down to the final corner, Murray's corner. Off goes Pagani into the pits, followed by Aaron, so they're making their final stop now. SBY back into the lead of the race, and now you feel he's going to have to start setting some blistering lap times. So he'll have one more stop to make, but it will be a shorter stop than the two who have just pitted. Aaron there, you can see 4 litres up on fuel over Pagani. That could help him out. Is that going to be enough to jump Aaron back in front of Pagani? We shall see. Here comes Unsafe, who's now got blue flag closing in on him rapidly. Has Unsafe made a mistake? Was blue flag just being setting quicker lap times? It looked like blue flag just being setting quicker lap times. It's honed right in on the back of Unsafe Release. So this will be over a net P5. Unsafe Release is pitting this lap. Blue flag might go one more lap. He might follow him in. With a fuel advantage, he can get out ahead of him. SBY split time then. 2 tenths down on his absolute best. That's still a 2:01.5. Quick lap time to where have Pagani and Aaron come out. So Pagani is still ahead of Aaron then, so Aaron didn't get the jump on him. Pagani has got some clear track. He's got blue flag in front of him, who's now right at the back of Unsafe. You feel at least one of these cars is going to pit at the end of this lap, if not both. Out of Forest Elbow, gets into the slipstream, trying to get the overlap on Unsafe as they head down the hill. Mikey, there's no stint like a 4-lap stint. Hashtag 4-lap Mikey. Side by side then into the follow through, or side by side. Great driving for both of them on the brakes. Unsafe brakes later, gets the move done. Retains the place, goes on the grass on the exit though. And now Blue Flag's going to get the switch back. Unsafe kicking up the dirt on the grass. He's going to peel off into the pits as Blue Flag follows him in. So they both dive for the pits at the same time. Oh, Unsafe's gone off. Oh, he's hit the wall. Oh, Unsafe there trying to attack the pit lane on very worn tyres. Has gone off. He made the same mistake that Dartbolt made last night. And has overshot the pit entrance and hit the wall. And that, you feel, might be what Blue Flag needed to get the jump on him. There was only 3 litres difference in the NC. Posh is in as well. And what tyres did Pagani and Aaron go to? They're back onto the soft tyre, but got a long way to go on that tyre, so they can't push as hard as SBY can at this stage. SBY 2:18 on that last lap. Himself for Forest Elbow and onto the current one straight again for lap 28, and so we are at 4/5 race distance now. Very much then into the business end of this race. SBY has got a stop to make. When is he going to make his final stop? Pagani and Aaron on track behind him. He's got 30 seconds. Those tyres are still in reasonably good shape at this stage. He's going to want to try and extend this stint as much as he can do. So A, he spends less time stationary. It also means that if he does need to attack at the end, he can do, because Pagani and Aaron are going a long way on these soft tyres. So they're going to be very worn at the end of the race, and that could be the factor that decides it. At the flag, let's see, the gap is 30.5 seconds. 2:02.1 that lap from SBY. This is Pagani's first flying lap out of the pits. Let's see what he can do. His first flying lap is a 2:02.4, so SBY takes another 3/10 on that lap, which is exactly what he needs to do. Keep extending that advantage. Aaron's got his penalty down to just 3/10 of a second. Posh now out on fresh softs. In a bit of no man's land. He is some way off the top 3. Blue Flag has indeed got the jump on Unsafe after Unsafe overcooked the pit entry. He's now 5 seconds in arrear, so Blue Flag has pressured Unsafe into a mistake. Great tyre management from Blue Flag, got him into that position. Unsafe just cracked under the pressure. Lennon in P7. So in touching distance, you can see Unsafe. So there is potentially another place for Lennon if Unsafe were to make another mistake, or if Blue Flag were to make a mistake. At least we could come back together. Fever then in a very lonely P8. He's not seen a soul since the early part of this race, unfortunately. Trying to take those soft tyres all the way to the end. In fact, I think he might have been pushing a little harder, because it looks like he's going to stop again. I don't think he's got the fuel to get to the end. I think he has abandoned the 2-stop strategy. He's going to make a pit stop in the next lap or so to get him to the end. Norris into the pits, manages to get in between the tyres. And Rara is coming over the mountain. Meanwhile, SBY, race leader, is in at the end of lap 29. So he's going to do 6 laps to the end. Where is he going to come up? Pagani's pushing to the chase. Rival for the win is in the pits. Tyres are in and on. Fuel going in. Pagani into the final corner. Has he done this lap time? This needs to be a push lap from Pagani. Does a 2:02.7. It's quick. Is it enough? Well, let me flick onto SBY. Where is SBY? The answer is... he is ahead. He's going in a very weird order for some reason. There he is. Yeah, SBY is in the lead of the race at 3.5 seconds. So despite that extra pit stop, SBY leads. He's also got Norris in between himself and Pagani. And he is now on fresh tyres. now just push for these final 6 laps. Attacking the mountain, then here comes Pagani up to that traffic. Nobby Norris and P9. This is not the part of the lap we really want to get in. Pagani just getting out of the grass there as they came through towards the skyline. He might be okay, he might just catch Nobby Norris on the straight, in fact. Nobby Norris got out of the way somewhere in all that. Yes, in fact, yes, Nobby Norris got out of the way. Pagani is not held up. So this is your race leader. He's gone for a 4-stop strategy then, so he spent more time on the soft tyres. He's been pushing all race long to build up an extra pit stop advantage, and he's done so by the tune of 3.9 seconds on fresher tyres. You feel you should have enough now, barring a big mistake, to just keep Pagani at arm's length. But if anybody can close him down at this track in this car, it is the man in P2. Aaron is very much in this as well though, right on the back of Pagani again. He has closed back up. So looking at being a very good points haul for Team Aaron, 1st and 3rd at the moment. City Posh in a very lonely P4. Blue flag still P5. Safe in P6 and holding Lennon, who is P7. Bieber has indeed pitted again onto a fresh set of softs, so he can now push to the end. Maybe see the pace that we maybe expected to see from Fever. I think his strategy was bold. It has not unfortunately come off for him. But he has done an excellent job on the tyre delivery. A little bit there into Forest Elbow. Nobby Norris looks like he's going to win the battle between himself and Rai Rai. They were talking smack to each other in the Discord earlier. He clips the wall there. And then so does Aaron fancy making this a 1-2 for Team Aaron? So they come down through the S's, through the Dipper and into Forest Elbow. Right on the back of Pagani. Does he fancy a move for the end of this race? Not this lap, he doesn't. Stays in behind. Look at how aggressive SBY is being there. The car really looks like it was working hard. 2:01.2, a fastest lap of the race. And that's proof and evidence. Shaves his 10th of a second off his best lap. Pagani did 2:03.2. Lost a whole 2 seconds on that lap. SBY has bolted again. You fear now it will be a mistake, and only a mistake that can cost him the win. Not under immediate pressure, so you fear that he won't buckle like he did at Laguna in the Mazda week when I applied a little bit of pressure. He's got himself a nice advantage. Going Aaron running in tandem, they will complete the podium. Got now 20 seconds over City Posh, who is continuing to hold a blue flag at about 6 seconds. He in turn has unsafe about 8 seconds back, who in turn has got Lennon about 8 seconds back as well, so this gap has just opened up. Fever now released from the shackles of fuel saving and tyre management. Let's see what kind of lap time he can do. You can see how much quicker he is already on his personal best. He's let the shackles go. 2:02.8 then, so a personal best by 1.8 seconds for Fever, so that's the pace he could have been showing us all race. Oh, then Ever cooks it into Hell Corner. Gets it back on the track, up the mountain straight. Norris has kept it generally pointed the right way tonight. I think he'll be happy with his night's work. Gets bragging rights over RI Live. RI Live will be wearing his dress, sat in the corner a little later on. If you're in the Discord, you know what that's about. SBY the 2019 is just to emphasise his speed. Then he's on lap 33 now, so just this and 2 more laps to go, and he's purple in sector 1 again. Aaron, meanwhile, has got the move done for P2. So Aaron has made the move. Here comes Pagani back at him. They run up towards Griffin Bend. Pagani's got the inside. Can Aaron hang on around the outside? They're going to go wheel to wheel. Aaron's out in the marbles and has to see position. Oh, big slide. Unsafe is pitting. Interestingly. Does he think he's got enough advantage over Lennon? He might lose position. It's a question of whether or not he can pull it back. But this battle is now on for P2. So let's see how this is going to work out. Then this is the biggest battle on track. In fact, it's pretty much the only battle on track at the moment. Once again, the field has spread. Let's kick it up. There's grass and the dirt. Down Skyline through the S's. To the dipper. Cock that inside wheel. Aaron is pushing hard. Aaron Pagani pushing hard as well. These two know each other inside and out. Pagani gets a big wobble on coming out of Forest Elbow. That's going to give the momentum to Aaron. Is he going to get close enough into the chase? Pagani's gone defensive. Kicks up the dirt. He's so far over to the right. Brake as late as they dare. And closing in. Pagani over the curb, bounces wide, has a bit of a slide. Still going in the right direction. Down to Murray's Corner to complete lap 33. They're onto the penultimate lap. Oh, Pagani again gets the back end twitching. Look how much the tyres are worn. It's a long stint for these guys. Not only are they battling each other, they're battling these tyres. Pagani again kicks up the dirt out of turn 1. Can Aaron get a run? He's in the slipstream, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. By the time they get to Griffin Bend. Not close enough. Pagani a little bit wide, over the curb. Aaron is there. Go on to the cutting. The inch perfect. Again, the car's just weaving around as they try to get the power down. SBY has just eased away then. He is now looking very comfortable in the lead of the race. Just a quick check down the order, see if anybody's come together. Unsafe has managed to jump Lennon. In fact, Lennon has also taken the opportunity to pit. I'm going to go for one push for fastest lap at the end. They come down through the S's into the cutting. Sorry, the dipper, sorry, the cutting's further around. Down to Forest Elbow for the penultimate time. Aaron is closing. Needs to get a good run out of here. He's a little bit wide from the apex though. Has again a bit of a slide. Gap has just opened up. He's just in slipstream range though, and is starting to close back in again. I think Pagani's safe this lap. He's done enough. Not under pressure, and the braking's over. Aaron closes right in under braking. Can Aaron make it a 1-2 for his team? Oh, Pagani has a twitch. Aaron has a slide as well. This isn't over. They're both still going full pelt. A little wide through turn 1 through Hell Corner. That's going to give Aaron a chance. Up toward Griffin Bend. He's in the slipstream. He's close. Up the mountain straight they go. Can he get close enough for a move into Griffin Bend? Pagani's driving down the middle of the road. He's gone a little bit defensive. Aaron looking to the outside. He's going to try and cut back. He hasn't got the grip to turn in though. Has to sit in for now. Quick check further down. Everybody is still spread out. Yep, nobody closing in. Through the cutting they go. Pagani still holding on to P2. Again, that car just sliding all underneath him. A bit narrow there. Aaron taking a more sweeping line to keep the speed up. Oh, Aaron slaps the wall. That just gives Pagani some breathing room. So they go through Skyline, under the bridge, down through the S's. See Aaron closing in then through the dipper. He's had a good run through there. He's closing back in. Oh, again, that car twitches as he tries to get on the power. Can he get close enough for him? Looks up. Well, what about moving to Forest Elbow? It would have been a big send. Pagani gets a big twitch though. That's going to give Aaron a chance again. Up the road into the chase. Here comes your race leader. SBY has driven absolutely superbly. Where are these two? They're nose to tail. Is there going to be a chance? Aaron to the inside. Pagani's gone defensive early. Can Aaron go the long way around? He's alongside. He's ahead. He's got the inside. He's done it. Aaron gets the move done. What a pass. What a pass. Is Pagani going to attack at the final corner? No, he's got nothing left to answer. He's going to try and cut back over the curb. But it's not enough. SBY's your winner. Aaron comes home P2. Pagani finishes P3. What a battle between those two on the final lap. SBY meanwhile cruised to the victory up front. Fantastic drive from him. Massive congratulations. He was absolutely dominant in this one. Aaron snatching P2 on the final lap. City Posh comes home in 4th. Blue flag P5. Good recovery from him. I think he'll be made up with that. Solid points all. On safe release, he's going to come round and finish in P6 around the final corner. So it might work for unsafe. P6 for him. Lennon looks to be going for a fastest lap. Is he going to make it on fuel is the question though. He's pushing hard over the curb. Got Roy Live ahead of him. It's a little bit of slipstream there, potentially through the final couple of corners. Oh, he's run out of fuel. He's run out of fuel at the final corner. So if he was going for the fastest lap, he has not got enough fuel to make it. So Lennon's going to come across the line P7. Fever was P8. Nobby Norris P9. Roy Live rounds out the finishes in P10. So it is a 1-2 for Team Aaron. SBY with a very dominant victory. 4-stop strategy pays dividends for him. Had the speed to make it work. Aaron snatches P2 into the chase on the final lap, getting it done around the outside on very used soft tyres. Great overtake. Great battling between those two. Pagani comes away with 3rd. And that is the end of tonight's action. A fantastic finish there. And great racing from all. Thank you very much for joining us as ever. That is the end of the action for tonight and for FTRL for this week. We are back on Monday, of course, with ACC this week from Imola for the first time since it's been added to the game. And Tuesday, Wednesday, we are back with our F1 League from the crown jewel of the calendar, which is of course the Monaco circuit. Join us on Tuesday and Wednesday for that, and then next week on GT Sport we are going from Australia to America, and we have got NASCAR week. So 2 races coming from Blue Moon Infield A and the Blue Moon Speedway, which always produces fantastic racing, so do join us for that. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. If you haven't already, before you do go, please do like the stream. Help us out very much, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel, and we will bring you plenty more racing action. But thank you very much for joining us this evening. Hope you enjoyed the racing action, and we will see you again real soon.